Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are doing the weekly September 29th to October 5th for the sign of Leo. Alright Leo, you're up next. And of course these are timestamp videos. You can go in the description and jump ahead. All of the information about my channel is in the description, information about the music, private readings. If you'd like to get a private reading, go ahead to that link in the description. But we're going to get right into it, Leo. Honeymoon. Engagement. And playfulness. Alright, so these are your three messages for the week. Now, we pull angel and romance cards just to see, you know, these are general readings for life, love, and career, but sometimes you just want to see what kind of energies you're dealing with in your relationships, right? So now we're going to go ahead and pull out your animal spirits, and these are going to indicate possible events in your life, times in your life that you're about to transition to. It can indicate personalities that you're dealing with or energies that you may be drawing upon to help you through a particular situation. Now in my private readings, of course, we go much more into detail. So if ever you're watching these videos and something really resonates, but you'd like to go even deeper into perhaps why a situation is unfolding the way it's folding, the best thing is to go ahead and book a private reading. We have Elephant Energy, which just came out for the previous reading of Cancer. We have Nightingale, Air Energy. Elephant, of course, is fire. And we have another fire elemental, which is Scorpion Energy. All right, so let's go ahead and review these animal spirits briefly before we go into your forecast for the week. Elephant. Beautiful energy, right? It's fire elemental. The elephant is associated with the great god Ganesh. The elephant is also associated, I do apologize for any background noise. The elephant is associated with abundance coming in, wealth coming in, riches. Ganesh is extremely wise and extremely fruitful and bountiful. The other thing that the elephant, of course, is very much associated with is he is the remover of obstacles, the great remover of obstacles. The energy and the momentum, the fire that the elephant brings with it is unstoppable. So oftentimes elephant energy comes into your life when you feel as though things are really kind of happening out of your control. And, you know, whenever you're in life and you almost feel like you're being sort of nudged down a particular path, right? Or perhaps you're already going down a particular path and certain obstacles are being removed. Elephant energy is at play, all right? And certainly when you have this feeling of really not being able to sort of get around it, it's inevitable. It's that kind of drive and momentum that the elephant brings. Then, of course, we have air elemental Nightingale. And the Nightingale is known for what? Its beautiful singing voice. So, of course, this animal spirit is associated with the throat chakra in a lot of ways. This is the animal spirit that communicates through the beauty of song, singing, the sound of the voice. Even if you're not a singer, just sometimes your voice can be soothing to someone. It's all in the way that you communicate. We have a chakra at the throat for a very specific reason, because we are animals that communicate, right? We are animals that use language and use sound as part of our senses. And so Nightingale energy is really quite beautiful when you're trying to communicate a message, when you're trying to communicate your own level of creativity and understanding. This isn't so much like other animal spirits that talk about messages that may be coming into you from the divine. This is when you are singing the message out of your own soul, out of your own body and your own heart. You are resonating with the message, but your true desire is to communicate. And oftentimes with Nightingale energy, this will be associated with someone who is a singer, a songwriter, a poet. Specifically, someone who would speak the word. Not necessarily a writer, which is much more associated with the turtle energy, but someone who is a storyteller who speaks the story. Of course, we have Scorpion energy finally, and this is another fire elemental. And the Scorpion is, of course, a very, very intense animal. Again, this is a predator, an apex animal, although it's small. The sting is venomous, deadly. The Scorpion energy resonates with those who are highly competitive specifically, not so much ambitious, but competitive. Scorpion energy can also be individuals or times in your life when you're holding on to things that have upset you. You may be holding on to slights or holding on to arguments or bad feelings, negative feelings, and festering. It festers. You're not letting it go. And you really kind of let it get to you. Why is this the case? Because the Scorpion is also an extremely sensitive creature. The stinger comes out to protect itself, to protect its sort of squishy inside, because the Scorpion is so deep emotionally. Now, another aspect to this animal spirit is oftentimes Scorpion personalities resonating with Scorpion energy like to watch from the shadows. They like to be in the shadows. They like to be hidden. They like to be hidden while they're watching you. They don't want you to know that they're watching you, but they're watching you. You know? All right? So let's get right into it, Leo. We're going to pull out your forecast for the week. Anywhere from 5 to 8 forecasts. And again, this may or may not resonate. You can go in the description and go back to a forecast and review it if you'd like. If it resonated with you, you want to see it again, that's for your convenience. And of course, just take what applies to you, throw the rest away. We have a running theme here though, right? Talking about behavior and energies coming in to make the way for a path. So let's get right into it, Leo. You have Fool coming right out the gate with Queen of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles. Wow. All right. So first and foremost, let's just move this all up a little bit so we can get out of that glare. All right, my lovely, lovely Leos. I do resonate with Leo readings sometimes because my moon is in Leo. I'm a Sagittarius with a Taurus rising, but I do have a moon in Leo. All right, so the Fool shows up. Oftentimes the Fool shows up in a reading to indicate that you're about to make a quantum leap in your learning. You're about to make a quantum leap in realization and expansion and wisdom, understanding. Yes, we talk about a leap of faith with the Fool because the Fool generally comes into a reading to indicate a change or a new path that you're about to take, a new stage in life. And of course, those things always come with a degree of uncertainty. So there is a leap of faith that is needed, but also don't forget the Fool. The Fool moves on from stage to stage, but each time it moves on to the next stage, it is also making a quantum leap in its own self-realization, in its own growth and expansion. And so it's a very positive thing. Queen of Pentacles is coming in and Three of Pentacles. So for some of you, this is going to be a new stage in your career, in your ambition, in your life path, whatever it is that you do that in terms of how you manifest your abundance on earth, how you make your money, right? What you do for a living, right? Now, you understand that this requires you resonating with Queen of Pentacles energy because you understand that anything that you want to manifest in this world, any kind of business or job or career or ambition for yourself, still has to be nurtured. Even though it is a manifestation in the material plane, it still needs nurturing. It still needs care. It still needs your emotional attachment. Queens are associated with water. So with Queen of Pentacles, we talk about the watery aspect of earth. The watery, the emotional connection that you must have to the material plane in order to really be able to manifest your dreams and your goals, right? So you're coming into this new stage with this energy and this realization that indeed you need to put mind, body, and spirit into whatever it is you do with Three of Pentacles. And also you begin to see some reaffirmation coming back at you in the sense that people are more and more recognizing you in your field. They are more and more recognizing you for your skill. And this is all very, very positive for someone who wants to progress in their career and who is now really starting a whole kind of new phase, I want to say, or maybe a new path in their career. King of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, and 4 of Cups. Wow. All right. Interesting. Interesting. So some of you Leos, you are resonating with King of Pentacles energy in the sense that you've acquired everything that you want, right? In terms of your material success, you've acquired your goal. This is for the Leo out there who's probably successful. Their career is fine. They're on top of their game with their career, but now they're looking toward making sort of a commitment, a life commitment. There's some kind of connection there for some of you Leos out there that is a really strong connection, that is almost like a soulmate connection. This could be a long-term lover that you've been holding on to, or I want to say not the lover, but the love of someone that you've been holding on to, you know, that maybe you guys have gone your separate ways. You may have gone your way to pursue your career and they've gone their way, but you haven't forgotten them. And this week you're thinking about them very, very strongly. Okay, this, I believe, for some of you is going to be someone that you're not necessarily with. Interestingly enough, you may hand this person a cup of love this week and they don't take it. All right, they don't take it. They're not sure. You have an impression you're coming in with all of the memories of the past and the friendship and the love, but something about the way they left or you left or it was left or something about where they're at, they're not taking your cup of love this week, right? And it's going to feel quite sharp and quite painful. You may even resonate with Scorpion energy, but be careful not to, you know, to be too bruised. This situation requires communication and opening up. It requires you to really maybe bring in some of that nightingale energy in a sense of opening up your heart and your throat to your emotions and really expressing yourself. For whatever reason, this person thinks your cup is an empty cup and they're not willing to take it until they know that what you have to offer them is true stability. It may be that in the past you may have let this individual down. Okay, now for some of you, this could indeed be, you may be resonating with 4 of Cups energy, Leo, and King of Pentacles is somebody who's coming in for you. So this can also be vice versa. 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, and Queen of Wands. So some of you have come out of a recent power struggle that's really left you kind of paying the price. You may have had to really pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, it could have been that you broke up. You might have either been ousted or sort of like, I want to say you kind of lost maybe a battle somewhere along the line, either at work. You could have lost a battle perhaps with friends or a lover that in the end put you in a position where you've really had to struggle. I mean, this is really the essence of 5 of Pentacles, is that the loss of a power struggle that you had with someone ultimately impacted you financially. It's impacted your quality of life, right, on a material level. And so you're really having to dig yourself back out of the hole. This can also sometimes indicate single moms or single fathers who are having to come out of difficult domestic situations with children and suddenly having to find a way to pick up the pieces and build a life again, right? This can be when you break up and everybody moves, or you move, or your boyfriend moves, and now you're suddenly having to start over again because you guys shared the bills. These are the type of scenarios I'm talking about. So some of you Leos have been through this recently, and you really find yourself this week battling. There are a lot of obstacles in your way. You feel like you're having to be really, really creative to sort of stand your ground. And you're willing to do that, right? But the Queen of Swords also comes in the sense of, it could be that some of the people that you're battling with this week, some of the individuals that you're dealing with, they may be left over from this situation. They may be individuals in other areas of your life. But one of the things you realize is that that it's time to be as honest with them and yourself as you can be about who you are. Some of these battles you're having may be because you're still not really being completely out front about who you truly are. I say this because the Queen of Swords talks about cutting away the mask, cutting away your own mask so that you can be honest with people about who you really are deep inside, and not pretending or not trying to sort of satisfy other people's sort of desire for what they want from you or what they want you to be, more or less, right? And so this kind of realization with the Queen of Swords may be something that comes in this week, and it's going to help you deal with some of these obstacles that you've had coming your way. The World, Seven of Cups, and Eight of Swords. Wow. So some of you are this week coming in with a really positive feeling that you are exactly where you should be. Okay, you're very much on your life's path. Things are going the way you, I'm not going to say so much they're going the way you wanted them to go, but you understand that you really are where you should be right now in your life. But you are doing a little bit of daydreaming this week with Seven of Cups and starting to sort of like think about your future. And, you know, I don't know if you're being extremely realistic. Some of you may be thinking about a future, but you're dealing with someone who's resonating with Eight of Swords energy. And so for some of you Leos, it's like one part of your life is doing really, really well, right? But then you're dealing with somebody, I want to say perhaps in a relationship where things aren't going very well. They're very toxic. They're very sort of emotionally sort of toxic for you. Eight of Swords is the gaslighter, you know, it's the victim card. People who like to play the victim and not take responsibilities for their actions. I think part of this as well is that Seven of Cups. You have an illusion about this. It could be for some of you that you may be with this person simply because they're attractive or they have a certain like social status. There is some kind of attribute to this person that you believe in. This Seven of Cups is what you want, but it's not really what you want. And the price you're having to pay to put up with all of their toxicity, right? It's not a price you're willing to make, right? It's not a price you're willing to pay. And I think this week you start to realize that maybe some of the ideas and dreams you've had for you and this person or about life with this person were illusory, were not realistic. You can't change someone. Because Seven of Cups talks about wishing for things that really aren't what they seem or really won't bring the happiness that you believe they're going to bring, right? And so I think this week you may realize a little bit that this person isn't going to change and you're never going to get the cup of love or the type of relationship that you truly want with this person. It's an illusion. And I think a lot of this is going to come to a head for you this week. Nine of Pentacles, Three, Empress, and Knight of Cups. Wow. So some of you have really been working really, really hard on your career. Right? You are beautiful, Leo, in the sense that Nine of Pentacles is such a beautiful card. It is when you really put everything into your life's ambition, into your, mastering your skill, growing your garden, attaining your wealth and your abundance and your riches. But then you realize you're on your own. You realize that you've had to sacrifice that deep connection. And so this week you begin to resonate a bit more with your Empress energy. You begin to start to open up to yourself a bit more and realize that it's time for you to have love in your life as well, right? It's time for you to, enjoy your life on an emotional level as well. Nine of Pentacles can often indicate people who are just driven. And yes, they feel beautiful and they live in the lap of luxury sometimes, or they've attained a lot, but they haven't allowed themselves to really be as emotional as they'd like, or as sexy as they'd like, or all of those things that are down to relationships and attracting others. It's almost as if this person has maybe shied away from that for the sake of obtaining their goals, obtaining their dreams, right? But now you begin to manifest with that. You begin to understand that the law of attraction needs to begin with yourself. You need to love yourself first, nurture yourself, nurture your femininity. I'm going to say this is for a Leo who's very much in their feminine energy. Again, not gender specific. We're talking about masculine, feminine energies. So this is going to be a Leo out there who is treating themselves a bit more, spoiling themselves a bit more, treating themselves a bit nicer, right? Splashing the cologne or the perfume on, wearing the nice outfit, you know, etc., etc., to make yourself feel a bit better about that part of your life, even though you probably feel really good about all the other accomplishments. And what happens? You bring in a Knight of Cups, right? Which is indeed the law of attraction. And so a Knight of Cups comes in. This could be very playful energy, just a date. Someone you already know, who you've been dating, but you may be dating more. This is light energy, but it's the beginning of something, right? It's the beginning of a life that is more full in terms of engaging with others. This is going to be the last spread: 7 of Swords, Ace of Cups, and 10 of Swords. So somebody out there is, wow. 7 of Swords is my tortoise in the hair card, right? It's the card that talks about those of us out there who desire something so much that you want to take it, you want to steal it, you want to covet it. You don't necessarily want to work for it. You just want the easy road. It's just like the tortoise in the hare. The tortoise takes the methodical step-by-step road to the finish line to achieve its goals, whereas the hare is sleeping, taking a nap, and then he suddenly tries to catch up, and it's futility, right? 7 of Swords talks about a futile effort because it's not really an effort at all. And so for some of you, you may have been dealing with this in your love life, right? You may have been dealing with this sort of with someone who has not really put the time in for you. And you have love for them. There was a love. There was a connection. It may be for some of you that there was a really strong love connection on your part with this individual, but when they resonated with the 7 of Swords energy, and you may be finding out about it this week, it's like you're done. You come to a 10 of Swords and you're done. You realize that maybe you've been giving you know, this cup of love, even though you felt this so deeply and it was so overflowing, it really was for someone who was not going to give you something back. And I think this was the final sword, as it were, in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin to kill the old you, Leo, right? You're finally done with this stage. It's probably may have been a long stage or a short stage of your life, but this has been a stage of your life which is coming to a close with the 10 of Swords, where you have maybe been putting yourself out there too much to people who are toxic, to people who aren't good for you, to people who will steal your dreams, right? And you've been like in love with these individuals, and you just, each time you get knocked down, and this is the last time. This is the last time, and you really finally have an end to this, because now you're going to come out of this 10 of Swords stronger, wiser, with a completely different type of ego, an ego that's matured, that has expanded, that has had a level of self-realization. And I think that you get away from continuing to have these love affairs and these deep attractions to these very toxic individuals. This is, I think for some of you Leos, this last individual that you're dealing with is finally the one who's going to teach you that enough is enough. You're going to learn how to pick better partners for yourself, better lovers for this new you. All right, Leo, this is your reading, September 22nd to, September 29th to October 5th. This is your weekly forecast for love, life, and career. And I do hope it resonated with you, at least in part. And if it did, please, if you could like the video, that really helps me, or comment. I do love responding to the comments. If any of these forecasts resonated with you, but you want to go deeper into a particular area in your life, then you can go ahead and book a 30-minute or 60-minute reading with me at the link in the description or at the top of your screen. Hit the subscribe and the bell, and you can get notified of upcoming Leo videos. But for right now, I'm just going to say, Leo, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week for the weeklies. Bye-bye.